So, hi, Tonya.
Hello.
Okay, hi. We're about to start and we're starting. Okay, fantastic. Welcome, everyone. Absolutely delighted to have you all here. So a really important webinar: is your vegan dog at risk of developing dilated heart disease? Absolutely delighted that my a very dear friend, my co-founder for SHEVEGA.com, Dr. Melina Fielder, a senior vet, surgeon, holistic animal nutritionist, and she's been working with leading global companies, advising on pet nutrition, is here, and she will be talking to us about this. And also, Melina's a really compassionate animal activist, and just delighted to be working with her on all fronts and to have her as a very dear friend. Melina.
Thank you. Thank you, Ruby. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to have you there. And we are going to be talking about the really important thing, the nutrition in vegan dogs. So we'll start with the,
Melina, I'm just thinking it's a little loud when you bring the microphone.
Okay,
so maybe
I'll just keep it like, is
this
okay?
That's perfect.
Excellent.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
That's perfect. So a little bit about myself. So prior international lawyer. So I worked on human rights with very large multinationals, worked with NGOs, governments, including our government, on quite complex cases, and really sort of out of the box innovative thinking. But my heart and my passion was always around, obviously, initially it was with human rights, but it really is around animal rights. Myself, I'm an ethical vegan, and so is my 13-year-old Springer Spaniel. So SHEVEGA.com, briefly, we set this up as a mission, as a passion, and as two women who were senior in our own respective fields, very different fields. You don't ever hear a lawyer and a vet getting together. But we both have holistic thinking, and we both needed each other's expertise in terms of our mandate and our mission. And also it was important for us to really sort of walk our talk. So this webinar tonight is, we'll be addressing 5 things. First, we're going to be talking about plant-based diet for our pets, and Melina is going to be talking about DCM, dilated heart disease. And specifically this issue with regards to vegan pets. We're also going to be, well, Dr. Melina is going to be talking about how we can prevent this with adequate nutrition. And also, is it possible to have vet-approved diets that can be irresistibly tasty? And I say this because I am so disappointed with the number of videos I see of people who don't know what they're talking about vegan nutrition for pets, and some of the videos, and I've discussed it with Melina, are highly, highly dangerous in terms of what they're giving to their pets and what they're advocating. And so advocating when you don't know what you're talking about is really, part of our mission to make sure that that does not happen. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about the SHEVEGA supplements, and then I'll be just ending on the other component of our work, which is the bigger picture, SHEVEGA and plant-based diet. So over to you, Melina.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ruby, for introduction. It's a really important topic for vegan dogs or for vegan pet owners. I'm sure that you've heard about this disease that is starting to be more and more prevalent in dogs. And lots of veterinarians and researchers are now pinpointing the risks of plant-based diet, like 100% plant-based diet, which the vegan dogs have. They were also mentioning grain-free diet, that would be the risk, but like some plants, like some ingredients like potatoes and other the ingredients, food ingredients being related to that. So I just wanted to explain to vegan pet owners what's happening, like why is that relating to the vegan dogs. So I'll just explain what this disease is. You can see on the slide that you have on the left side normal heart, and please make attention to the interventricular septum. So the muscle wall in between 2 chambers, while comparing to the dilated heart has really thinned muscle. The walls of the heart are very thin, and so muscle is not strong. And the heart, because the left chamber is actually, when it's squeezing, when it's contracting, it's pushing the blood into the aorta, which is this big red blood vessel up top. Yeah. And then the red blood cells carry oxygen, nutrients to all parts of the body, to brain, to legs, arms, all organs. In this case, that pumping is much weaker. And so the body, the entire body is depleted from the nutrients and oxygen, and it cannot function. It's quite complicated disease, so it's affecting the whole organism, the whole body, and it's very costly. The medications are costly. Veterinary visit has to be constant. It is very heartbreaking for pet owners because they see their dogs not active. They're laying down. They have panting, coughing during the night, swelling, and you would like to prevent that, and it's possible. And there are some dogs that can you go back, please?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Ruby. There are some dogs that are predisposed, like we can see that in boxers, Springer Spaniels, Dobermans, and some dogs that are more sensitive to taurine deficiency, like American Cocker Spaniel, Newfoundland, Portuguese Water, and Golden Retrievers. But lately we can see that lots of vegan dogs that are not in this group, so they're not predisposed, are developing dilated cardiomyopathy. And that's a bit scary. That's something to worry us about. And we can go on the next slide now. So how to prevent that? Because it's possible, especially like for the dogs that don't go into that category, that they are prone to dilated cardiomyopathies. For vegan dogs, we know that dogs are omnivores. We take from them animal products. We have to bring back all missing nutrients. Lack of nutrients or insufficient amount of these nutrients will predispose them to develop a dilated cardiomyopathy, which is happening now. And I said it's very expensive treatment. So, but I'm finishing this. 100% plain diet is healthy under one condition, that you have to daily supplement it with the proper complete supplements. So now we can have another. Okay, when we say like complete diet, then we think, okay, we are getting a complete like diet in dry and wet food, commercial, kibble, but it's not like, in practice, it's not like that, because we noticed that there was a research, and lots of these vegan diets like Emmy, Yarach, Evolution Diet, Veggie Dog, you can read that zinc was deficient, iron was deficient, vitamin B, calcium, phosphorus, protein, B12. So these food, the commercial complete, like so-called complete kibble and wet food, should be supplemented as well, especially with these nutrients that can cause bad problems. And we can go further. So, so this is another proof that we have loss of vitamin B6, 89%, and during storage. So it's a high temperature, over 120 degrees for a long time. And then during the storage, it can be 1 year or so. So lots of nutrients are lost, and they have to be, even with kibble and wet food, they have to be added.
And do you know what's extraordinary, Melina? How many times have we seen the word proper food, complete food. And yet that's not the case at all, is it? That's
Yes, yeah. When you go into the research and you start, and this is all scientific research, you know, I'm getting this from the books and from the scientific books. Unfortunately, the complete, what so-called complete, you know, the kibble and wet food, it's not what is, you know, in theory written, that everything is inside, unfortunately. Yeah, so and especially like if you are making your own at home dog food, vegan dog food from your own ingredients, or you share your own human vegan food with your dogs, you have to be aware that vegan dogs require more supplements compared to dogs on meat-based diet, and compared to vegan humans. So it is more vitamin B complex, vitamin D, magnesium, manganese, omega-3 oils, carnitine, taurine, all these ingredients. So it's really a complex topic and subject to, you know, to take it very seriously, because what's happening, you know, it can become a cruelty to your own animal, not intentionally, of course.
And Melina, it's interesting, myself as an ethical vegan now for almost 12 years, I realized that I had to supplement. Well, obviously the doctor's advice wasn't, you know, I wasn't getting expert advice on sort of vegan nutrition. But what you're saying here, and when we discuss this, is that you cannot make a dog vegan without ensuring that you're supplementing, because even the best products out there, which are stating that they're vegan, are actually, you know, they don't have all the necessary and essential, you know, nutrients and amino acids, etc., that are required, or they're not in the right proportions, or there's loss through the heating process.
Yeah, that's true. That's why, I mean, lots of people becoming aware of that, like even meat eating and vegan, you know, pet owner, that commercial dry and wet food is actually, it's sterilized food. It's very processed. So they're trying to add some more of, you know, like a fresh food, vegetables, fruit, something that's full of antioxidants that will bring that energy in the dog and support organ functions. Like lots of people know now, omega-3 oils are really important. So they're adding on. So it's really good that people are actually researching and supplementing that food even on their own way, you know, but it's even better when it's some expert, and that's what our SHEVEGA company is, you know, to educate. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to present this simple presentation with the photos of the nutrients that should be supplemented in one vegan food. So we have essential nutrients, which are amino acids. Like methionine is limited amino acid in vegan dog diet, like in a 100% plain diet. You have to add methionine, taurine, carnitine, and threonine, and sometimes tryptophan. Then we need vitamins, minerals to be added. And then non-essential is omega-3, prebiotics for good health, microbiome, antioxidants to prevent any toxins, you know, affecting the body. And then we have healing herbs. So all of this is missing. Lots of them are missing actually in the plants. So we took the animal product, we have to put back these all ingredients. If you want to buy all of them separately, combine them, besides you need a big research, like a knowledge to know how much to put, but the cost is enormous. It's around, when we calculate all of this, minimum for 4 to 5 months is over 200 pounds. So it's definitely much better to buy something that's already prepared.
And that's what was happening with me. And before I met Melina, I had about 7 different brands. I had antioxidants, prebiotics. Then I was doing something for Bono's arthritis. I didn't know what dosage or proportions I was giving. I was afraid of over supplementing. I wasn't getting any expert who was telling me otherwise. I was quite frantic about Bono being a vegan and me not knowing exactly what, what proportion, and there was nothing out there. There's no advice. And yet the commercial food that I was buying was saying it's complete. It's, that you don't need to add anything. And talking about leading brands, this was further research that was carried out.
Yeah, that's true. I remember seeing all your bottles with supplements, and of course that's how we came to an idea to make it all in one and create the proper supplements. Leading brand supplements that we have now in the market, they're very popular. Unfortunately, they present risk for vegan dogs. Firstly, they are when you research and if you know what you're expecting from the supplements, which I don't expect from the vegan dog owners, because that's not your job. You can't know this, and I can't know your job. So we can see in the leading brand that we have low taurine. It's extremely important for vegan dogs. Low methionine. Limited amino acids. Without that, you can't expect healthy vegan dog. No carnitine at all. Carnitine is here to help heart pump, to strengthen the heart muscle. And you saw in dilated cardiomyopathy, the muscle is totally weak. No omega-3 to help inflammation and support the heart. Then we have low in zinc, immunity is affected, no threonine, no manganese, no magnesium. Magnesium is extremely important, again, for relaxation of heart muscle. Then we don't have lots of vitamin B. You can see B1, 3, 6, pantothenic acid and folic acid, and no prebiotic to protect the microbiome. So, which is again with the vegan dogs, they don't have they need a special bacteria to develop in their intestines to be able to digest some food that's really not appropriate for omnivore dogs, but it's possible, to develop these good bacteria and to without problem to digest vegan dog food.
And the interesting thing about absolutely, sorry, Melina. And what's interesting about this leading brand is when we looked at the costs, all the missing ingredients, it would have, you're looking at a product which, would be now £150 as opposed
minimum.
to
Yes.
Where if those products were added. And then of course, the missing ingredients and the risk of, DCM.
Yeah. It is definitely directly, you can see like low methionine and taurine, no carnitine, no magnesium, B vitamin, and omega-3 would help with the heart as well. It's a leading way to dilated cardiomyopathy. So that's why when we discovered that, Ruby, how we were shocked at that. We couldn't just, comprehend that. And we said, okay, we are going up to, to change this because this is a big, big risk for the vegan dogs.
Absolutely, Melina. And the other thing that Melina and I will be working on is the whole thing around regulations, because there, it isn't, what are the regulations for pet food? I mean, any, Joe, whatever, can set up a company and off they are selling this pet food, which I think is absolutely criminal. And, akin to how people just suddenly, start sort of breeding puppies and they're selling them and all those issues. It's just wrong, ethically wrong. So, Melina, the role of taurine and carnitine.
Yeah. So taurine, normally like dogs that, and carnitine, dogs that are on meat-based diet, they have it. And they can develop it internally. They are specifically necessary for developing the heart muscle, for the healthy function of the heart muscle. But also, like, for example, taurine is necessary for the healthy eye function as well. So without them, or without adequate high amounts of them, recommended for vegan dogs, sooner or later, your dog will have some problem, you know. So they're extremely important. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said, they're not in a plain diets. I have checked all supplements in the pet market, all different supplements. The one that are buying so often and so, you know, like with the excellent reports, you know, like, oh, these are great. But when you have knowledge about that, and when you see how many nutrients, ingredients are missing, then I think that is like something that should not allow to happen, because unintentionally vegan dog owners are leading their dogs like towards the health problem.
Yeah. And what about when people go, well, I'll just get carnitine and taurine and I'll just supplement myself. Can you over supplement? Can it be poisonous? Because that's another thing, like I was doing, I didn't have a clue. Products, and I was just sort of adding them willy-nilly into Bono's food. So a little bit about those discussions we had, Melina, about supplementing and over supplementing.
Definitely. Whatever you like, it's not what they said, the more is not the better. So you have to have the professional knowledge, you know, the advice from the expert. And I've noticed that lots of vets don't have an idea, like even the nutritionist, because it's something new. Vegan dog food is something new on a pet food market. And I've noticed that, so I noticed that there's not enough, but if you add too much, then you will definitely get poisoning with these ingredients, you know, taurine, carnitine, methionine. It wouldn't, like, for example, methionine will be cancerogenic. You know, if you increase it 2 times or more, your dog might just, you know, have later on problems with cancer, you know, so yeah.
And another question before we go into the next slide, and forgive me, Melina, we're just going to do this impromptu, and we do this a lot. When people say, hang on, I've had a dog, my parents have had a dog, my relative, my friends, etc., they've all got dogs, we're not supplementing them. Why? Well, you know, they survived, they lived up to 7, 10, 13, 16. So how do you explain that?
They were probably not in their optimal health. You know, they survived, but they probably had lots of issues. You know, some more, some less, depend on their genetic formula. You know, like some is more sensitive to this, and some is more sensitive to that problem, like infected ears. Coat was smelly, yeast was there, you know, dog wasn't in the optimal health. It can't be without this supplement. Imagine like if you, you know, like the dogs are omnivore. They are supposed to eat animal products. If we take it, we have to replace it for their optimal health and longevity and happiness.
Fantastic, thank you. And then of course, leading brand and the risks.
Yeah, that is what actually made me a little bit like I was not happy at all when I researched, when I actually started calculating what they have in, and I'll just show you like what diseases you have by using these incomplete supplements. So we have this, we have the risk of dilated cardiomyopathy. As I said before, it's not enough taurine, not enough methionine, no carnitine at all, no magnesium, and no omega-3. So that is all to protect the heart of your dog, especially for a vegan dog. Like even for a meat-eating dog, if they are eating the wet food, canned food, it would be good to replace a bit of taurine, methionine, and carnitine, either by giving the meat or by supplementing, whichever. But for a vegan dog, it's crucial. It's a must to have that all. And I'm really surprised how these supplements are going into production and who is checking them. Then for immunity, as I said, zinc is low and suppressed by high iron. Then we have the B1, B3, B6 and other B vitamin. And they're very important for metabolism, for keeping the normal body weight in dogs. No omega-3 again for immunity and metabolism. And then for gastrointestinal system, then you have to buy prebiotic extra, and all other ingredients. And you want, as a dog owner, to have everything in one tab there. You're given to you. This is all. Don't worry about anything else. You have all. So that's what, I was thinking to make the presentation and to explain people has to be educated to give the best for their dogs.
Absolutely. And the other thing, and this is where also we connected, is obviously from a legal perspective, there's no regulation, products are being put out, but we also said, where is it being produced? Is it being produced in China? What are the regulations? Who's being paid? Are they being paid fair wages? So all of this, when we came together, we said this, whatever we set up has to have a high standard. There has to be ethics, integrity. It must be, everything should be transparent. We're using the best human grade ingredients. And another critical thing, which we also agreed on, was sustainability, which was we didn't want to create more products which were going to end up in landfills, which were unsustainable. And also, as women, we wanted to be disruptors. We wanted to go into a system. We didn't want to rehash. It was not about profit. It was about doing the right thing, creating the right thing, putting a product out which was going to have an impact. And also, which I'll talk about later, was the whole thing, a reduction on sort of carbon and, the pet industry, but that's going forward. And now our favorite, because we both love our food. How is a vet approved diet going to be irresistibly tasty? And I'm actually feeling hungry now.
Ruby, can I just interrupt you?
Yes.
Sorry, but you haven't mentioned, actually there is no manufacturer number on the bottle. I would give this advice to people. Please, when you are buying supplements, when you are buying supplements, please check the number of manufacturer. Where is that produced? Where is that manufacture these products? And you will then know about the quality as well.
Yeah, and I think the concern is a lot of people, and it's the work that I did with there's a whole principles, UN guiding principles around multinationals working in developing countries, or people buying products which are being produced in developing countries where there's slave labor, there's no transparency on the supply chains. So the profit is somebody who's here, but the fact is it's pennies and pences on the other end, and that's not right. In this day and age, we can't allow that to happen.
And the quality of the ingredients are not the same.
Yeah.
So that is a big, some of them had a recall before. Why? That could be connected to the manufacturing country as well.
Exactly. And the reason here, as we are both solutionaries, is not to point the finger, it's just to raise the standards. So when we advocate on this, what we're saying is we'd love more competition, but if you're competing, then you do it with transparency, integrity, and you raise the standard and you raise the bar. And I think as women, of a certain age and our backgrounds and what we care about, this is really critical. It's about doing the right thing.
Definitely.
Great. So thanks, Melina. So now these recipes, they look fantastic. So look at this one. I tried this on with Bono, the vegan loaf, and he absolutely loved it. So yeah, so this was mixed, cooked lentils, put in, red bell peppers, carrots, organic dried tomatoes, vegan shredded cheese, chopped, mushrooms, chia seeds, oregano, mint, and tomato paste. And I worked with Melina, and this was what was wonderful, because I wanted to create something that Bono would love, but it would be nutritious for him. And it was just fantastic when Melina came up with this. I loved it. Bono loved it. And then we decided, okay, we need our own sort of, A to Z of nutrition, which sets out these recipes and that can also work with the supplements. And we did that. And here's another example. And this is, again, from Melina, which was absolutely super. This is the vegan broth you created for rehydration or diarrhea, or as you say, post-surgical recovery. And again, very, very simple recipes, very nutritious, and also, human grade. Just a bit, I was a meat eater 12, 13 years ago, and, chicken soup when I was ill. And so what are the alternatives? And these are absolutely delicious. And here comes the booklet, which is called the A to Z of nutrition. And so we haven't got sort of, a few of the pages. There's about 40 pages. They're all, really high grade, lovely color, lovely images, sets out these recipes, and also sets out how you're supposed to use the supplements with the recipes as well. So I think hopefully you're seeing the amount of passion and care that went into creating these products. And yeah, so Melina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what was, that's what is our mission. Sorry, to create a product, high quality product that will give confidence to pet owners that they have everything. They're giving all in amounts, all in quantities that is recommended by an expert, and that is healthy. They wouldn't have, their dogs wouldn't have problems with using these supplements. And we so we combined with the plant-based diets that you saw in a booklet, like what we had. Our supplements are high in taurine, high in methionine, has carnitine, magnesium, all vitamin B, including folic acid, pantothenic acid. Pantothenic acids is not in the plants. You can't get it from the plants. You have to supplement. It's very important, like not very known, but it's very important. Then we have high zinc prebiotic healing herbs. And the other little jar, because we couldn't put all of them, we have marine algae source of omega-3, DHA, and EPA. So not the flaxseed oil, which gives you only the amino acids that can't be effective to your dog. So please, there's a lots of people using flaxseed oil. It doesn't give your dog omega-3 oils, and it just increases the omega-6, which our dogs have plenty if they are on vegan diet, So the SHEVEGA supplements will protect the heart, eyes, immune system, urinary tract because of the herbs, nervous system. It will soothe painful joints, inflamed intestines, give food to good bacteria, and prebiotic they are the only ingredients that will actually fight bad bacteria, pathogenic bacteria like Salmonella, Clostridium, Campylobacter. That's very common with dogs. So I think we got a perfect product, and I want every dog to be on this to be fully protected from diseases that you don't want for your dogs.
And also we decided that one of the things was that we didn't want to just sell the product, but we wanted to build a SHEVEGA community. And that community would be kept together by, say, a monthly or bi-monthly, webinars, podcasts, where anyone wanting to learn about sort of plant or vegan-based nutrition for their pets, those on commercial diets who wanted to learn to supplement, etc., that we would have them, that we would constantly be learning as well. So we didn't just put a product out and then sort of, sit back and say, that's it. This is really our mission and passion. So we really wanted to continue sort of engagement with the audience, which was really paramount. So in a way, we were trying to come up with, how do we make this affordable so we get something that's sustainable, it's long-term, and that we're building a community as well. And also to note that there are puppy supplements and also pregnant and lactating mama dog supplements as well. And then, of course, Melina.
Yeah. We wanted really as well as the supplements are nutritious, healthy, complete. They're the only complete supplements at the market because I can calculate all other supplements. That's why we hurried up with the supplements. They're the most important for vegan dogs. And our dogs also can enjoy tasty vegan food. So you will see the ideas in a booklet. We supplied all nutrients that are taken from a dog by taking the animal products, which is quite fine because some dogs that have a liver problem, their only option is vegan food. So it can improve, especially with the older dogs, can improve organ function like liver, kidneys, protect them from developing seizures and convulsions, the nervous system, their urinary tract, protect from oxalate stones production. It reduces levels of ammonia, which means the intestines will be healthy. The dogs with ulcerative colitis, their best option is actually vegan dog food, if it's properly supplemented, of course. There is no risk of pathogens, bacteria, fungi, like you have in a meat-based diet. And it's highly now recommended to be used as a hypoallergenic diet. And we notice even Royal Canin, which is the top brand, and they're not vegan, not vegan company at all, but they don't use animal products in their hypoallergenic and non-allergenic diets. So why not? We totally support, and we are for vegan dog diet to improve the health, not just because the owner decided that, but has to be really properly done, of course.
Yeah, thanks, Melina. And then, of course, this is another component of our mission and project together, which is what we call the bigger picture, SHEVEGA and a plant-based diet. So Melina's expertise, not only as a vet surgeon, but also as an expert, pet nutritionist, but more so as an expert vegan plant-based pet nutritionist. That was really critical when we started our engagement, and we looked at where are our values, our purpose, our principles, what we care about. What was critical, what I brought, and Melina was sort of 100% on this, is that we've got climate change, and we've got a very limited view of how we consume, what we consume, and the impact it's having on the planet. And just basic information that a plant-based diet can actually offset 16 years of carbon emissions. Recent research that's coming in from leading think tanks, and that 83% of usable land is actually being used for animal husbandry, and that we've doubled our carbon budget. This is the sort of Paris agreement. We're still not, in compliance, and concerned whether we'll ever be in compliance. And of course, although with COVID, we've had 20 to 30% drop in emissions, of course, when we pick up again, or whatever the new normal is, it's completely diabolical. I don't know. I just don't know how we're going to be able to, sort of sustain the 20, 30% is still not enough. So that's really worrying. So what can we do? And what I find extraordinary, and as a lawyer, I've dealt with many nefarious and subversive subjects, and, and how things are manipulated. And I won't go into sort of conspiratorial or whatever, but I think everyone knows about that. I've had the most detailed discussions with even cab drivers. So I think a lot of us know this. The question is, we don't have the energy or the sustenance or the ability, because we've got children, mortgages, families, work, and everything to look after, that we can't really look at. We need to play a part in how do we change the system. So, a plant-based diet absolutely would reduce pandemics. Again, leading think tanks have talked about that. And it would, of course, reduce global warming by reducing deforestation, which is happening because we need the land for the animals, and of course, the impact that's having on our biodiversity and our ecosystem. So that's another underlying incredible sort of, mission and passion of ours. And then, of course, from everything I've experienced and the way our linear and binary system operates, and the way everything's globalized, the way recently Cambridge University just released, I'm doing some work, I've done some teaching with Cambridge University, and I'm doing some work with Oxford University. What is extraordinary is that Cambridge is now looking at the GDP is an unsustainable economic model. And it's fantastic for a leading academic institution to be saying that, but for it to actually filter into sort of governments and the world system, because GDP is premised on exactly what you're seeing on the right: profit, profit, profit. But the side impact of profit is, landfills, the impact on the planet, pandemics, and the horrific cruelty that's happening to animals. And one thing I say is, my heritage is Indian, speak the language, I've traveled, etc. I've seen this sort of new rush to modernity by the youth, which is eating raw meat, eating meat, tons of meat, McDonald's, the queues in India, in Pakistan. I saw that when I traveled. I've seen friends who are in Peru say their workers are now buying £1 McDonald's. They're getting obese, it's not healthy, etc. But the cruelty to the animals and the supply chains, it's beyond thinking. So this is a really strong passion of ours, that SHEVEGA supplements is just the Trojan horse. Our work's much bigger than that. We will not get funding to speak, the emperor's got no clothes to a system, the child who screams, or laughs, the emperor's got no clothes. This is a beautiful way of being a solutionary and creating, solutions to the mass public to be able to say, please don't start, a lot of people are getting pets, don't feed them a meat diet, because that means we're running short of even the byproducts, which are used for animal products. And they're using more and more fresh meat. So you've seen these new companies that are setting up and saying human grade meat is being fed to your pets. It's absolutely heartbreaking that you're feeding a more sentient animal to your pet. It's absolute madness. So I think there's a massive disconnect and dissonance. And Melina and I have talked about that. And this is really where our compassion, passion, mission, come together and integrate as lawyers, as vets, as women, really on our compassionate journey for humankind, but also obviously for animals as well. So what we call it is, we say it's a win-win, not only for people as we become more conscious. Both of us are on as a trained yogi, and Melina as well. This is the very, very strong undercurrent of our work to live sustainably. So it's a win-win for people, animals, pets, and planet. And that's our sort of mantra. And this is why we decided we were going to sort of bring up a SHEVEGA global community. So if you go to www.shevega.com, we're putting up more and more information. We're just a startup. I think between us, we're putting in about 12, 13, 14 hours a day, a minimum. And we've been doing this for almost, my goodness, I think it's about now 9, 10 months. Yeah. And that's the level, alongside sort of holding, I do a ton of pro bono work, not that I can afford to, but I know that there's a real need for it. but really this is, you know, much more than a product. So yeah, just delighted that you're here. It's coming up to 1:45 in the UK, but it really makes no difference with our time zones. We just love our work. Sometimes Melina's up at 4 in the morning, but this is the way we work while we manage our work and our lives and everything, is to create, and also to create a company. They're talking about B Corps, creating a company which is of impact. And we do something, you know, we create a structure which is really an inspiration as how to lead as women, how to create a company that really has social impact. And yeah, so it's wonderful to be here and talking to you about that. And it's wonderful to have you as our sort of early adopters, as they say. So yes, thank you. And I suppose now we move over to questions. I stunned everybody to silence. Oh, goodness. Tonya, where are you from?
I'm in the US.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, DC area. So.
Wonderful. And Gillian, hello, welcome. I can see you.
Hi.
Lovely to see
Hi
you.
there.
Hi. And I think we just
Hi.
lost Shannon. Shannon was sort of intermittently, I wasn't able to say hello. So yes, please ask away. It'll be delightful. Or just chat. We can just
yeah. I'd like to know a bit about like the costs, because you say like it's so much like a subscription to belong to the community, and do you get the supplements as part of that, or and how does that work with equity? Because I've got a very small puppy and if somebody needs, you know, if I'm only needing a little bit of supplements for her, you know, will go a long way. How does that, you know, if somebody's got a great big huge dog and we're paying the same to be a member of the community and get the supplements, how does that work?
It's a great question, and we've worked that out. I'm just going to say something before I pass over to Melina, who will give you the expert advice on what the relevant supplements are. So the first thing is we wanted a product that was big enough so that we didn't have a lot of small containers that had to be refilled every month. So that would be cheaper for the consumer, but it ends up in a landfill. And so we're trying to look, what can we have that will be, you know, as big as possible, but also affordable. And so Melina, over to you with regards to the different types of dogs and the usage and the amount of supplements.
Yeah. So if you have a little dog, then you just buy once a year, and that's enough for your little dog to consume. The big dogs, they will probably need maybe, if it's really large dog, maybe 4 times a year or 3 times a year. So yeah, that is important to, you know, to.
And Melina, the other, forgive me, the other distinction is knowing about when you're cooking your own homemade plant-based food, yeah, and when you're adding it to, so just making that distinction as well.
Yeah. So if you are, yeah, because we know that most of the people, they wouldn't just cook 100% every day for their pets, but they normally, they have a bag of food and they give a little bit of food, like 50% or whatever. Then they get 50%, which is, you know, it's really necessary to give them raw, like maybe raw apple, raw carrots, and some cooked, maybe some rice, some lentils. So mix it in because they need a real food, like fresh food. And then you give a very small amount of supplements. If you are, that's what we were going for, you know, like if you are using that way, then you just need to buy once. If you cook 100% every day for your dog, then you follow our recipes, and then you give a bigger amount. So it's all calculated for different usage. Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
So there wasn't something where that's, sorry, the amount that you have to pay per month, like to be a member. Oh, does that include the supplements? It's £40 per month.
Yes, it's part of the supplements. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So once you purchase the supplements, you're part of the family. So we just look after you every month because we're getting feedback and we're learning. And we're also supporting, and we also get to advocate on climate change and learn from each other.
Okay.
And really provide you, how do you say, the confidence to be able to talk confidently about plant-based nutrition or the environment or climate.
Yeah.
So it's part of it. So we put it in as part of the product.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought that it was a bit confusing. But it was kind of, the slide wasn't there for long, and I thought
apologies.
Sorry, but maybe we could have some information like that sent to us, so that we know how much everything is, because and also, in terms of things that are not strictly vegan, but that we might, like, I'm not 100% vegan. I do eat some dairy products. So, I've been giving some goat's milk to my dog as a way to get her to eat the vegan food, like, to make it tasty. She loves it. She loves anything cheesy, and how that fits in, if we, to get some advice on other things like that we might be doing. I've done a bit of research on my own, looking at, that either that, getting a lactose-free milk or goat's milk was reasonably safe in small quantities and things like that. So are you open to kind of giving us some guidance with those sort of things, or does it have to be 100% vegan?
No. We are giving totally, even for pets who are on meat diet, but they want to go like from the either from the health reasons, or they have to go more on a vegetarian diet or vegan diet. We are here to help, and to whichever. I have lots of experience in all sorts of diets. I have clients, meat eaters, raw, like that give 80% of meat to their dogs. I can't tell them, look, that's not normal, but I had to learn everything. I had to go through everything, and the vegan, because you must know all different diets. Then you can compare or criticize one or whatever, and you have to learn everything. Then you are the best, not just that I just want to know vegan, vegan dog food.
And remember, Melina, when we discussed this, and we said we didn't want to polarize the debate, and that was really important, because when you make anyone wrong, I was at least 12, 13 years ago, I wasn't a bad person. I didn't know, it wasn't my priority. There wasn't, so the key thing is not to polarize the debate, but to support and give individuals confidence that you can transition your pet healthily, and what are the reasons and what are their concerns. But I think engagement is absolutely key. But we certainly won't be advocating a meat-based diet. So we won't be saying, get 3 bits of chicken and 2. We won't be doing that.
Yeah.
No.
And I don't want to hog the conversation, so I've got lots of more questions, but
no, that's fine. That's fine. We are here for. I just wanted to tell you. So you just buy booklet only once, just to know that. So that's the first starter kit. Oh, somebody has a TV. Can you please?
Oh, let me hear. I had to run and plug in because I was running out of power. Let me turn this off.
Just.
There we go.
Okay, no worries. So booklet, you saw that there are 3 products. One is the whole complete supplements powder. The second little tab is omega-3 with vitamin D3. And the third part is the booklet. So booklet you just buy once. And inside is for all types of dogs, all breed. Like if you have very old dog and then later on, and it's small breed, later next one is a giant, Great Dane. You still have for every dog, every size is calculated. And if you want like from the puppies that are from the beginning, from the weaning, everything is calculated, because I gave like 7 years on calculations on, and then we developed together, me and Ruby, what is the best for the vegan dogs, because her dog is vegan as well. So if you don't spend, because it's 60 capsules in that other tub with omega-3 and vitamin D3, you separately order, you know, when you spend one, you can just order that one tub, you know, with either complete powder nutrients, or if you spend faster the omega-3, you know, depend on the body weight of the dog. You're not obliged later to buy